In this video, I'm gonna be gambling over 350 million coins. I'll be trying everything from actual dice rolls to the most expensive minion in the game. Also watch this video till the end, cause it's actually insane how some of these methods turned out.
Well, actually, fan 19.
Anyways, let the spending begin. Now, I didn't want to start all in, so I decided to do something that I always do. The experimentation table. Basically, Skyblock has this thing called the experimentation table, where you play games designed for 5-year-olds, which has a chance to drop books worth hundreds of millions that buff your damage by 5%. Now, before you do the actual thing, you'll need to first complete 2 smaller mini games aimed at, again, 4-year-olds. Now, it's quite easy, as the game literally tells you what buttons to press. I basically have a mod that helps with brain puzzles for 3-year-olds. So yeah, I got some enchanting XP, but now it was time. I equipped my guardian pet that increases my chance of getting rare books, and I attempted it. And as always, Hypixel didn't register my clicks. Thank you, Hypixel. So after wasting a few clicks, I got enchanting 57. Yeah, 57.
Myth.
Other than that, I got a Titanic XP bottle, meaning I literally broke even. But it's not over yet. Cause if you spend an increasing amount of bits and XP, you can actually do it up to 3 times. So I did. This is where the real gambling begins. So in my second attempt, I got another click registration bug and an actual book, Lifesteal 4 worth 100k coins.
Wow.
I also got a Titanic XP bottle, so I technically made a profit this time. And in my next attempt, anyways, in my final attempt, I got an instant find power up on my first click.
Eh?
Anyways, thanks to that, I got a snipe 3. Whoa. So yeah, I didn't make a profit, but I didn't really lose a lot yet.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Now, when it comes to minions, every single one of them can be a gamble, but there are only a few that come even close to the sheer RNG of the Inferno minion, and they cost a pretty penny. So I didn't want to go in blind, which is why I decided to ask Buckles. He's a Skyblock no-lifer with over 7,000 hours of playtime, and here's more or less how the conversation went. He gave me a lot of useful tips, but the main thing he told me was to use Gabagool distillates. Now, if you didn't already know, Inferno minions are built different. Basically, they require a special fuel with the world's most creative name, Inferno Minion Fuel. Great name sense, Minicloon. I don't really know if he named them, but he posts a lot of Inferno Minion memes. But I actually tried to ask him why he liked them so much, and here's what he said. Wise. Anyways, where was I? Ah yes, watched Inferno Minion Fuel. Now, Inferno minions reach their max efficiency in groups of 10. So I needed enough fuel for 10 of them, which is why I decided to spend 53 mil on Hypergolic Gabagool, 4.7 on Gabagool distillates, 1.27 on fuel blocks, and 2.3 mil on the Scorch Power Crystal that I don't even think helped because there was nobody on my island. Now I needed a place to place them. At first, I chose my old Inferno minion farm where I used to AFK them, but it was too small. That's what she said. So anyways, I decided to build a little enclosure for them, just above my old farm. Then I dug tunnels around them to access the chests easily, which I obviously used. Anyways, beyond that, there was nothing I could do.
I don't know what the lyrics are.
Except to wait for 9 hours to collect my minions, cause they filled up really fast. Now, while waiting for my minions to do their thing, I decided to try other gambling methods. And in Skyblock, probably the truest gambling experience we've got is the Archfiend dice that gives you coins if you roll a 6 and nothing if you roll anything else. There's also a text saying that it might have been tampered with.
That sign can't stop me because I can't read.
For this test, I'll actually be spending relatively the same amount of coins on both the cheap and expensive Archfiend dice. So for you guys, here's a fun little game you can play. Go to the comments and tell me which of the dice do you think will make more coins. One high class Archfiend dice that costs 6 mil per roll and has a chance to drop 100 million coins, or 6 regular Archfiend dice that cost 666,000 per roll and has a chance to drop 15 million coins. coins. Yeah, pause the video and add your guess. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, let the gambling begin. Now the high class Archfiend dice was actually going for a lot cheaper than I thought. And I was able to snag one for just 49 mil, which if you do the math, I statistically had a 76% chance of making a profit. If anyone is wondering how I got those numbers, I pulled it straight out of my actually competent AI assistant ChatGPT. Anyways, I began rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ran out of coins, but even after getting the coins and rolling 2 more times, I still hadn't gotten a 6, which was kinda weird, because statistically you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting the number 6, but even then I powered through, because if I could at least get it within 8 attempts, I could have made some profit. And so after 12 attempts, I finally rolled a 6, which was kinda surprising, because the chance of not rolling a 6 for that long is like 11%, which could only mean one thing: I got unlucky. Anyways, I lost 21 mil from this. So yeah, if anyone had thought that I'd make profit from the high class dice, anyways, you can still win if I lose more from the regular dice. To anyone who became happy after hearing this,
You disrespect yourself.
now to keep it fair, I'll be buying 6 regular Archfiend dice, because they cost around 7 mil each, which equates to around 40 mil. And so after only 3 rolls, the regular Archfiend dice was looking way better, making me over 6 mil in profit. Now the second dice took me a bit longer at around 12 rolls, meaning I barely broke even on that one. And it should have been my sign, cause my luck was about to run out, as the next one took 20 attempts, which was a 5 mil loss for me. Now what do you think I did? Sold the dice and walked happily with over $1 million in profit? Obviously not. I just lost 5 mil, I was obviously gonna recover that. So I started rolling. 1, 2, 3, 10, 14, 17. Then I tried borrowing some luck from my aunt, but turns out it was actually screws, cause I really screwed up this time, as even after 21 rolls I didn't drop a 6. So I continued counting. 30, 40, 50, 60, 69. At that point, desperation had taken over me, so I started throwing all of my dice at once, and I was finally able to get some of it back. But there was still a lot left to be made, so I kept rolling. But that one died.
She was cursed.
I kept rolling with no exit in sight. Desperation started taking over my mind. I tried swapping lobbies, jumping around. Yes, I'd completely lost my mind. But then I finally dropped a 6. But at that point I was down to just around 30 mil. And then what I saw before me shocked me to my core. A young fledgling was trying to copy me, and just like a veteran who'd seen the trenches, I told him, "Wrong dice, bro. Never do what I did. I just lost over 90 mil doing this." Anyways, turns out I'd lost over 93 mil doing this. So yeah, the dice thing is rigged. It's programmed to give you wins from time to time, but its main design is to make you lose money. So with a loss in hand, I moved on. Now the main reason I even made this video was, so yeah, I grabbed a few holy dragon fragments and crafted some boots. And literally my third boot dropped me a dragon horn, which has a 1 in 82 chance of dropping. So yeah, it was a massive profit for me. But after sacrificing a few more dragon pieces, I realized that I'd forgotten to use my endermite. But in spite of that small hurdle, I was able to drop 4 ritual residue, 2 summoning eyes, and 1 dragon horn, which was a massive profit. And so I decided to take a break. Why? I don't know. Then once I became bored after using the black dice, I went back to sacrificing. But my bad luck from the dice latched on, cause I didn't drop a single horn. And the only good thing I dropped was 4 ritual residue and 1 summoning eye. But then on the next batch, my luck came back. with vengeance, cause it was even more profitable than my first attempt. As not only did I drop another dragon horn, I also dropped 3 summoning eyes and 4 ritual residue. But then my luck left me again, cause the next batch I only got 3 ritual residue, which was a massive loss. Now after finishing up my last batch, I had 6 summoning eyes, 2 dragon horns, 18 ritual residue, and 26 holy dragon frags, which weren't enough to craft boots. Anyways, with all of these, I made around 60 million coins, which was a far cry from the 70 mil I had spent. But at least it wasn't a 90 mil loss, I guess. There was actually a specific reason I decided to use Holy Dragon Armor, the amount of dragon essence it gives. Because after all was said and done, I walked away with over 29 mil from just the dragon essence, meaning I made over 19 mil in profit from this. Also, if you're planning on trying this method, don't forget to get the double essence buff from the Ice Essence shop. It's really good. Now, before we find out how much my Inferno minions made, let's spend a small 20 mil on Jerry boxes. Cause why not? And from all of the Jerry boxes, all I got was around 6 Jerry talismans worth around 12 mil and a Jerry Sheen gun, meaning I lost coins again. Anyways, my Inferno minions were finally done, and so I decided to collect them without using the tunnel light build, because for some reason blazes were spawning in there. So I just used my right click boom boom sword and made them go away. So after 24 hours, I dropped over 26k crude gabagool, 6 inferno vertexes, and over 2 stacks of chili peppers. So after spending over 60 mil on resources, I'd only made 56 mil, which wasn't a really big loss in my book, especially after the Archfiend dice. So yeah, I lost a lot of coins gambling, but at least we can walk away with an important message. Pay your taxes. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked this one, then you'll probably like the other one where I talked about some absolutely insane Skyblock players. Or this one about how Crimson Armor broke Skyblock. Anyways, you should sub. Bye. If you also just play Wait, he actually responded?